full of bullshit, and we're here to call it out. Real talk, raw truth, and plenty of spice. Welcome to She Who Thrives.
We're your hosts, Caitlin,
Mindy,
and Harrison.
And today we're just kind of winging it.
We're going to talk about everything. What has everyone been up to this week?
My life has honestly been kind of crazy. Me and Ava are sick again, so that's fun.
Ugh.
Right after we got over it. We had Leo for about 9 days for spring break. So we drove and we got him. And then, had his birthday. He turned 7. So went to the city. We've been driving like so much lately. I'm so tired of it. I don't want to get in the car for like another month. We drove like 13 hours that day to get him. And then the next day we drove to the city and did this. They have this really cool like dyno. It's called Prehistoric Putt, but it's a mini golf place. Brixton would go ham. But we did that. He loved it. It was so fun. And then the next day I had showings all day in the city again. So I had to drive back up to the city the next day. And then the next day we had to go to state for FCCLA, which is 2.5 hours away.
Explain what FCCLA is.
Family, community, like, I don't know what the other C is, but culture. It's leaders. Family, community. What?
I can't remember.
But then it's like leaders
of America.
Yeah. So Brecklin and her little team made it to state for FCCLA, and they presented at this big conference. It was pretty cool. But they did really well and are going to nationals. So we'll be going to Washington, D.C. this summer. Yay.
So exciting.
It's not burnt down.
Yeah. We've just been super busy. We had a big Easter event for work and took Leo back. So
lots of stuff going on.
Yeah.
What about your week?
Jason's been working. Him and Karsten are so funny. I think that they're just bitching at each other 24/7. I can just imagine what their days are looking like, telling each other to F off, I'm sure, all day long. But they've been working a ton, so it's just been me and the boys. I've been trying to take them to do stuff. So we went to the pool a few times last week, and then the last time we went is when Jet kind of started getting teeth. So he's been a little bit ornery the last... Well, I wouldn't even say ornery. He's probably gone from being the happiest baby to a normal baby. So that's been fun. Brixton was on spring break too. So like I said, we just swam a whole bunch and he went back to school. He was so excited when I dropped him off today. He was like, Mom, put my shoes on. And then he saw his teachers walking out. He saw, Mom, teachers, come get me out. I was like, oh, hey.
David just went back today too.
He's loving school, but yeah, I feel like it's been busy, but it's really not. Like Jason's been busy with work and I've just been busy with the kids.
Yeah.
And our house is under contract and it's being inspected today. So we have that. And hopefully if everything goes well, we'll be able to close and be done with it by mid-April.
That's awesome.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. What about you, lady?
My week was boring. Recovered. They did, I don't know if I said on here last time, but they did say I had pneumonia. So they put me on like a high steroid pack and, antibiotics. And
lovely.
I'm feeling much better. I still get a little coffee and yucky every now and again, but much better. Our Saturday was pretty busy. I had my little girls dance, my great niece's dance recital competition that we went to. And then we had a barbecue for some people that just got engaged. And then we had an engagement party later that night. So Saturday was pretty full.
And we went to the conference.
Oh yeah. We went to Penner's conference. And then Sunday I went to Vegas with my mom, dad, and one of my sisters. I have a cousin down there he's been there for over 2 weeks now, but he's basically dying because of life choices of alcohol. and his liver his body's just shutting down. His liver, his spleen, he's not producing blood or plasma anymore. So he's having to have all those transfusions, and it sucks, I know that Saturday will be 10 years from when my brother committed suicide. And my cousin, his name's Randy, but we call him Buddy because his dad's name's Randy as well. Buddy came to the first suicide awareness prevention walk. And I remember him talking about how depressed and stuff he was then, and how bad it was. And I just, he's always said, like, because my brother shot himself, and Buddy's always said how he just wishes that he would dare do that, which is horrible. So he really has just been trying to kill himself with alcohol for the last so many years. And, when we walked in, I really struggled. I had to walk out, and because, like I said, it is the 10-year anniversary of my brother this Saturday. So everything's just really fresh. But when we left, I came home and I told Adam, I just got out of the shower and I just sobbed, and he just held me in bed. And I was like, I just feel so bad that it was like, everybody's like, get better, even me, like, do what you can to get better. But I'm like, his eyes, his soul spoke to me when we left, and he doesn't want to get better. He doesn't want to. And I just so regret, like, not saying it's okay. Like, it's okay to feel the way you do. And it's okay to leave, if he's not going to get better, if he's going to choose to keep doing what he's doing, which I don't. I mean, once you stop producing blood, how do you live?
Right.
Yeah, like, can you even stop and start again? I don't know. I don't know much about that. I've actually never even heard or knew that was a possibility to stop making blood. I guess that just never occurred to me.
I'm like, you can always do a liver transplant, but once again, you can't do a liver transplant unless you've been sober for so long. And he literally would get out of the hospital and go drink if he could get out of the hospital. So it's just sad. It's just so sad. And I just wish that I would have read more into what he was saying with his eyes to me than just what everybody says to him, maybe it just, and yes, it'll be hard for everybody here that he leaves behind, but what kind of life is that?
Yeah.
Right.
He's very successful, very successful, has lots and lots of money, but is just miserable. And things happened. He had a stepdaughter when him and his wife first got married. I believe she was 15 at the time, and he was actually a cop in Vegas at that time. He's now in the gaming industry, and, well, I'm going to say gaming. He has like bars and stuff. Anyway, she committed suicide with his cop gun, and he's the one that found her. And after that, he just seemed to go downhill. I think there was a lot of him blaming himself and, maybe not having your gun in a better place, all the things that you do to yourself. But I don't know. It's just sad. Alcohol. I don't think people freaking realize how horrible alcohol is.
And how fast it can become like an addiction. And I agree. And I think a lot of people too, when they are addicted, I think it's kind of the same as drugs. When they're addicted to drugs or alcohol, I think for a long time they have this like, oh, I'm not addicted, I could stop anytime I want. But they really can't. Like, you've lived with an addict before. I have lived with an addict before. It's like, if it was that easy to stop, then why haven't you? Because you're addicted. You can't stop. You need help to stop. And I think that it takes a long time for them to realize that they actually are addicted. And at that point, they're not able to stop anymore by themselves.
Well, I said, even with his wife, I was talking to Adam and I said, until you've lived with an addict, you don't realize what people go through living with someone like that, and the thoughts that go through your head. And, okay, maybe it would be better off if they weren't here than to have to do this for the rest of our lives, or to even have them in the situation that they're in. Why are you so far back and making me look like I'm
Because I felt
four times your size?
I felt like I was a bobblehead that close.
But it is hard, and you are like, I don't know, it's this emotional game because you love them so much, yet your life is turmoil, and you see what they're doing to themselves, and you also see what they're doing to all the people that love them, and you're like, would it be better without them here? But then I know you can have two emotions that are completely opposite coexist, but it's so confusing too,
Because I've talked about, wanting Dad to still be here, what it would be like, but what would that be like to have him here and have him be an addict still today?
I think one of the saddest parts about watching someone be an addict is knowing their potential. Like, me and my mom had talked about, I had a stepdad that was an addict, and when we met him, like, he was great. He really was an amazing dad. He would go above and beyond for his kids. He was great to us, and he was at the time like such a blessing in our life, and we all loved him. And slowly he was a horrible addict. I've never in my life seen someone who can drink a 30 rack in one sitting or drink vodka like it's water. I remember the one time I actually found out that he was drinking because I was so oblivious. And we were in Disneyland, and he had brought water bottles full of vodka and was just drinking them while we were in Disneyland on this big family trip, like with his whole family. And I went to go take a drink of water, what I thought, and he like freaked out. No, 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 don't drink that, don't drink that. And then I remember that later that night, I had found like a huge bottle, like in our hotel room or something. And then my mom had told me, kind of what was going on. But we were actually talking the other day, and I'm like, it's so sad because he had such amazing potential. He was amazing at sports. He was very athletic and very fit. And he was making a lot of money when he was with my mom. Like, not because he was with my mom, that sounded bad, but what he was doing in his job, he was making a lot of money and be very successful. Like, you can be successful and also be an addict. I think that people think a lot of people who are addicts are just like bums on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And it's not true. Like,
yeah,
yeah. And it just, he went to rehab multiple times, and that's so expensive. And, he ruined the relationship with his kids, which is like so heartbreaking because it's like I got to watch him be a good dad for a long time, and then alcohol swept that right under the rug, and like it was never even there. And it's really sad.
Well, that was Brad, the kids' dad. Like, I know till the day he died, he loved me with his whole heart and his children. He was a wonderful dad. He was a great husband. He would have given anybody the shirt off his back. He was very talented, very, very talented. He had everything, and yet this crept in, and a little at a time it stole who he was. I think about the horrible times, and I'm like, that wasn't him. Like, he never would have chose that over me or his children ever, and it's sad. It's horrible what it does. Okay, we're done with that. It's my mom's 78th birthday today, the girl's grandma. So we're taking her to dinner tonight to celebrate. I'm so grateful that my parents are both still around, and I hope to have many, many more years with them. I think about aging parents, and it sucks. Like, it really does suck to think about that. Like, one day they're not going to be around, and kind of puts things into perspective for you. Even like, my dad calls every day to check in on all of us kids. I think I've said that on here before. But, there's going to be one day where I miss a phone call, and it could be the last phone call I got from him, which you really don't think about that a lot. But I don't know, the more they age, the more it puts into perspective the time that you might not have.
I've thought about that a lot being here as they get older. All these years that have gone by, and it's just, I don't want to miss any more time.
I know. And time goes by so quick. Barbie and she called me right before we hopped on here, and we were talking about that exact thing, how fast time goes. Sometimes it feels like forever, and then other times it feels like yesterday, but time goes by so fast.
I know, like it's already almost April. I don't know where this whole year went.
I know. And then Jetty's going to be 1.
That's crazy to me. So I was in the shower last night, and I was thinking this, and I'm like, I'm going to ask you guys this. Do you guys, when you're in the shower, do you wash from head to toe, or do you wash from toe to head?
Head to toe.
Every time?
And I mean, unless I'm like, my feet are disgusting from something outside or whatever, then I'll wash my feet. But yeah, I would say normally I wash my face and then my hair and then my body and my feet.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I do the same. But last night I was thinking about it, so I started at the bottom, and it felt so weird. I'm like, this is weird.
This is another question.
And then I was like, I wonder how many people do it the other way around.
Do you wash your feet in the shower?
Yes.
Same.
With soap.
Do you, Kate?
Yeah.
I pick them up and wash them.
I remember telling somebody that I loofah my feet, and they were like, you loofah your feet. And I'm like, yes, you have to wash them.
I know a lot of people that don't wash their feet.
Yeah. And they were like, no, when you're in the shower, the soap from your hair and your body, that rinses down and washes your feet. And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
But I use a scrubby exfoliant glove. Mm-hmm. I hate loofahs. I think they're nasty. I switch my glove out every day and wash it. And I don't feel, if I don't use that on my body, I don't feel clean.
Really?
So in order for my feet to feel clean, I have to do, I have to wash them. Yeah.
That would tickle too bad.
I'm not ticklish, show. It doesn't bother me. What about this? So when Adam gets out of the shower, he always takes his arm and kind of squeegees the water off of his body with his hands. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Do you guys do that, or do you just dry with a towel?
Yeah, I would say I do that. I wring out my hair a bunch of times before I put it in my little wrap.
I wring out my hair, but I've never done that with my body.
Yeah, I would do that sometimes.
I always have when I'm in the shower at night is when I get my deepest thoughts, which is so weird.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was last night thinking about Kate. I was sitting there in the shower. That's what I was thinking about. I'm like, oh, I have this dream of the sisters, they get together on a random Wednesday and they just let their kids play and they hang out and drink their coffee or their lemonade and they make lunch and they just hang out like a normal day. And I'm like, oh, I want that so bad.
We'll be here soon.
What are things husbands do that make no sense? Take forever to shit. Why? Why does it take you 45 minutes to take a shit?
Because they're on their phone.
Okay, but how do they sit there that long and not leave with hemorrhoids?
That's what I say every time. I'm like, your butthole is literally going to get prolapsed and pop out.
Not even that. Your legs will go numb.
Adam always gets up and he has like this huge ring around his butt from sitting there so long. I'm like, how? I would have a butt full of hemorrhoids. I know that is TMI, but I would if I sat on there that long. Maybe that's the difference because push babies out. And, you know, if you have a hard delivery, you most likely get hemorrhoids.
Yep.
I got a hemorrhoid.
Well, girl, all you had to do was sneeze. Here comes Jet. Loosey goosey over here. She just sneezes. She just sneezes.
I actually do labor prep. Thank you very much.
What is that? Stretching your cervix?
No. Be mature here for a minute.
I got them with Brecklin. I didn't even push her out all the way. So thanks a lot.
Adam does not know how to hang pants up on a damn hanger. And I always tell him, like, if he just wears them for a second and then he'll like go to fold them and put them on the hanger, I'm like, don't put them on the hanger. Set them right here and I will hang them up because you do not know how to hang up a pair of pants for some reason. I mean, I hang all of his clothes when I wash them, you know, he never puts them away. I do. But if he happens to just wear pants for a minute and take them off and try and hang them, I'm like, don't. Same thing with the dishwasher. If he
I hate that.
If he wants to load it and start it, fine. But if I have to load something after him, I'm redoing the whole entire dishwasher.
Yes, Chasen loads the dishwasher like a jackass. I love him, but I've never looked at something that he's loaded and been like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense why he would put it in like that. Nope, never happened. Why? And he's very like organized and meticulous about stuff, which is why it's so mind-boggling to me that he can't load a dishwasher normal.
What is normal?
You guys like your guys' dishwasher will be full of like meal prep containers, and they're like there's like 5 things in your dishwasher, and it's full.
Yeah, your dishwasher isn't very big either. I don't think.
Yeah,
Well, there's just the two of us. So yeah, most of it is. He takes a breakfast to work and he takes 2 lunches to work. So that's 3 meal prep containers every day.
Yeah.
I do like my cups on the side of the top, and like if I have a spatula, I put it like kind of by the cups. And I put my bowls. I have my bowls stacked.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I feel like Chasen just I don't know what it is. Or like if I have like a coffee mug, I put the handle part facing towards the middle, and like the opposite way, and I'm like, no, that's annoying. Let's fix that.
That's not how it goes.
Yep.
What were you saying the other day that you're like, ugh, when he does that, it gives me the ick instantly.
When he washes his ass. The way
yeah, we were talking about that. That's so funny.
he like props his foot up like on his toes and like bends over and like I'm like, can you not just stand up? And him and Adam, like she said, Adam does this.
Yeah, but I asked her and she said Flo does the same thing.
Like, why?
It must be a dude thing.
I literally looked at her and I was like, ew, babe, you just gave me the ick. And he's like, I don't care, I'm watching my ass.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, I can't get it clean. I think it's because they're not like we're more flexible to like bend back like this, and they're like not flexible like that. So I think maybe they have to like bend forward and go to the back or something. I don't know.
Men, if you're listening, tell us how you wash your bum.
Do the foot prop.
Yeah.
There's probably some men out there that don't even wash their bum. They probably think the soap running down their back washes it.
Ew.
That would be so gross.
No.
Okay, some unpopular parenting opinions. This has been brought up a few times because, the kids play sports and things. I feel like they're at the age. Well, I talked too because, I coached Brecklin and Nixon's soccer team that one week. And I talked too, like, okay, at a certain age, if you suck, I'm not giving you equal playing time as the kids that are good, right? Or if you don't show up to practice or whatever, you're not getting the same amount of time. But also, like, once you just hit a certain age, that's just how it goes. That's just how life works, right? And with Nixon's basketball team this season, they had multiple parents like bitching at the coach, sending messages or talking to the school about like their kids wanting their kids to play more. Like even one of the coaches in one of the last weeks sent a text in the group message and was like, please rotate the kids that are on the bench.
Really?
Yeah. Like his kid doesn't even want to play. The coach would try to put him in and he'd be like, no, I don't want to. But I'm just like, you're not doing your kid any favors. And at this point, if they don't know what they're doing and they suck, they don't need to be out there as much as the other kids anyway. Is that like not a good way to think?
No, because I feel the same. I think when they're like little, barely starting, yes, you let them all play because it's not about competition. It's about them having fun and them trying to learn certain skills, and they're all learning.
Right.
But at a certain age, you can tell the kids that are going to go a little further and the kids that aren't. And
they have tryouts for a reason.
Everyone in life doesn't succeed. So
Right.
why should we all be getting here's your participation badge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that like wanting to rotate them and like put them in if they want to play, it would be different like if they sucked but they wanted to like put in the effort and like try, and they wanted to play. But to just put a kid in who sucks and doesn't want to play is like why put them in? If they don't want to be in and they're not helping the team, then no. But if they're like a sucky player but they really want to play and they really want to try, I think that they should be able to try. But yeah, I mean, it's not like it's high school.
Right. But also like, why are you forcing your kids to do this when they clearly don't want to?
Yeah.
I think it's great for kids to be involved in things, like at least have one thing that you're involved in. I think that teaches them a lot of things. Like it teaches you discipline in a way. It keeps you busy, it keeps you out of trouble. But to force them to do these things that they don't have any interest in doing doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time, it's a waste of your time, it's a waste of money. There's no.
We want to put Brixton in jiu-jitsu, but I'm like, will that help us or hurt us?
I don't know.
He might enjoy it too much and then practice on us. But I think it would be so good for him. Like, I don't know. Or would it?
It might be. You never know.
Jiu-jitsu is very disciplined. You have to bow before you come onto the mats, and there's a lot of discipline in that. And
he needs that.
We talked to you and Ava yesterday when I had him, but I told her, I'm like, he was perfect yesterday.
Yeah, he was.
The entire time he was with me. It's still more when she's around. Yeah. So
Taylor told me that she saw this thing about how, when you have a really long day at work and you come home and you just want to vent to your spouse, or, you call your best friend or whatever it may be, and you're just like, oh, I had this shitty day, and you vent to them about it. And she said, that's how kids are with their mom. That's like why they're so emotional or naughty. It's because you're their person that they get to quote unquote vent to. And so they act that way around you. And I was like, okay, but why every day?
Can I have a break? Brecklin said that quite a few times, which I get. I feel like, you're their safe space or their safe parent or whatever. But again, it's like,
you're like, why can't I be the one that you don't feel safe around?
It's good for me for just an hour. Can I go to the bathroom and can I quickly shower? No, I have to have the shower door open, the towel right there, because at any given moment, I'm going to have to sprint out of this damn shower. He's always so curious about what does what. Now he's figured out that scissors cut.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Lord.
I was trying to teach him how yesterday, and I was like,
wasn't going well.
So he's like, did you see him cutting?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he had both of them, and he was
so aggressive.
Wow.
Yeah, when you gave him the box again last night, he said, give me cuts. And I'm like, no, I'm not giving you the scissors.
Yeah, he's not great with them yet.
He's so cute.
He's so funny.
Okay, well, I have a dentist appointment, a cleaning in 10 minutes. So I guess I'm going like this.
Have so much fun.
I mean, I guess if we're doing a podcast like this, I can go to the dentist like this and trying to impress him. I do need to brush my teeth, though, really
Well,
quick.
my hair is still in the morning claw clip from when I rolled out of bed and brushed my teeth.
So we went to the gym this morning, and when I was, because Adam showers, because he goes straight to work. So I wait for him. I get on the treadmill after our workout, wait for him because he gives me his stuff to take home. And these influencers walked in, which they also bow hunt. They're both really into archery. It's a husband and wife. And Adam follows all their archery stuff. And I've followed her for years and years and years. And
they're like kind of fitness influencers, but I don't feel like they're like the type of influencers that are always like, buy this, buy that, buy this. They just like share their life, I feel like.
They have their own like supplement line, but yeah. So I texted him and said, they're here. And that's the quickest he's ever gotten ready at the gym. He came out so fast, and like, he's so funny because he would not go up to people. And I don't know, like famous people it's not like a thing for me. You're just a human.
Yeah.
Okay. More people might know you because of your job, but I don't know. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I need to take a picture with this person, and I get all nervous. I'm just like, you're just a freaking human.
Yeah.
And so I said, do you want to meet him? And he's like, yeah. So I walked over there and I started talking to him, and then he comes over, and yeah, him and the guy chatted for 30 minutes. Yeah, her and I were chatting. We were all chatting together, but Adam was like, oh my gosh, when we left, he was so excited. He's like, he got my phone number, because they come here actually quite a bit. They love St.
I think
George.
that they have their shop is
They
here.
have one of their warehouses here.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, I know that there was something. They have a lot of businesses though. They have that. They have like a kids clothing or kids pajama line. They have their hunting line, their supplements.
She said they just started doing peptides too.
They have that.
Nice.
I can't remember what else they have. They have a lot of different companies and businesses. They live in like Oklahoma, I think.
Iowa.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Yeah. And she actually said they were looking at a place here, but anyway, yeah. So it was so funny this morning. I was like, he was so excited about
He was
that.
fangirly.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
To meet one of the people that I like totally look up to.
Oh,
I think they're the only people I've ever fangirled over, and I still to this day do.
KK Fit Girls.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Like even after meeting them, like I know they're just people, but I still am like, oh, I just love them. I think even you idolize these people online, and I think when you meet them and they're like actually great people in real life and in person, it makes it that much better.
yeah.
Because sometimes you like love this person on Instagram, and then you meet them and you're like, holy crap, these are shitty people. But those girls, they were so funny and so nice, and like just like they were on Instagram. And yeah, they're still my idols, man.
Yeah, I just like, well, the one guy that I hung out with a little bit that a lot of people know, and I didn't even know who he was when we started hanging out,
Yeah.
and then, but it was like having people come up and stopping you everywhere and being like, oh, you're so-and-so, can I get a picture? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
Mhm. That would suck.
do you really want this life? Maybe that's why I don't be like, can I get a picture with you? Or I don't know. It's just not a thing for me. It's just like,
Yeah.
you're just a person. You're a good person or you're not a good person. And that's what it chalks up to in my book. So,
Well, and I think now about every other person you see in public is an influencer, so it's not really.
that's true. Now they're everywhere.
Yeah.
We know some personally that you're like,
You're nice.
yeah, you're really not like that in real life.
Yeah.
You got to go, girl. You have like.
Anything else we want to add to this random ass podcast today?
That I can think of.
Our tip of the week. Can I do it?
Go.
Yeah.
Tip of the week is by Harrison.
Stay safe, stay sober, and love thy neighbor.
Oh, wow. She threw a little Bible in there.
That was great.
So proud of you. Love thy neighbor as thyself.
She didn't know it was from the Bible.
Easter's coming up?
That's
Sure
true.
is.
No, but really, stay sober.
Yeah. Don't
A
be
girl
addicted.
yesterday said to me, her brother had gotten a DUI and he wasn't legal, and they sent him to California and they're waiting to see if he's going to get deported or whatnot. Anyway, she was just saying how bad alcohol is. And I told her, that I'd been in Vegas Sunday, and she said she's not that old. She's maybe early 30s. And she was saying, I used to party from like 18 to 22. And she said, I look back at my pictures at that age and I look older then than I do now that I don't drink. And I was like, people don't realize that.
No.
If you take a partier, my same age, and put her next to me, she is 99.9% of the time gonna look older.
10 years older than you. Yeah.
And imagine if that's what it looks like on the outside, what it looks like on the inside. But there's a difference between having an occasional drink. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Like, is it still not good for you? Yes. But if you have a beer or wine or whatever it is every single day or every night or even like every weekend where you're like getting sloshed, that's not good for you.
It's not. I mean, it's proven. It's not good for your brain. It's not good for anything. But you do you, boo. Okay, go. I got like 4 freaking minutes.
You even get to brush your teeth now.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Thank you for joining us on this random ass podcast this week. She Who Thrives. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. We will be back next Wednesday with a more organized episode. Until then, remember, no matter what you're doing in life, do it to the best of your ability and always strive to thrive.
Bye.